Hello and welcome to Startup Street. I'm Arundhati Ramnan and with me is Shruti Mishra and from the Bangalore studio, Ritu Singh. These are the top headlines from the startup world. EdTech giant Baidu seeks more time from creditors to renegotiate an agreement governing a $1.2 billion loan that is in breach of covenants. According to a report by Bloomberg News, the creditors have until Tuesday to sign a forbearance agreement, which will give the company time till February 10th to negotiate broader terms on the term loan.
Flipkart Internet, the marketplace arm of e-commerce firm Flipkart, receives a cash infusion of close to 722 crore rupees from its Singapore parent, according to regulatory filings accessed by firm Toffler. This is the first cash infusion in Flipkart's marketplace arm in 2023.
Home construction and building materials provider Brick and Bolt gets $10 million in its Series A2 round, which was co-led by Axel and Celesta Capital. The startup plans to use the funds to enhance its tech stack and strengthen its leadership team.
BharatPe receives in-principle authorization from RBI to operate as an online payment aggregator. CFO Nalin Negi, who's acting as interim CEO, says the approval will help the company catapult its expansion plans and to reach out to millions of more unbanked and underserved merchants.
And BharatPe co-founder Ashnir Grover launches a teaser document about his new company, Third Unicorn, through LinkedIn. Grover says the team at Third Venture will not be more than 50 members, and the idea will be to generate $1 billion in revenue. Adds that VC should steer clear from his new venture.
Grat CEO Arjun Mohan steps down. Mohan told Reuters of his decision. However, he did not make it clear why he was leaving. The Reuters report adds that the executive had resigned in December, though the decision was not made public.
Microsoft is in talks to invest $10 billion into ChatGPT. This will value OpenAI, the parent company of ChatGPT, at $29 billion. Reports suggest Microsoft is planning to take on Google's search business with ChatGPT. Those were the headlines that we're tracking for you today, but on what's brewing, let's begin with a key development in the government's battery swapping drive. The government is not looking to set any standards for battery sizes, but will set safety and performance standards. Abhimanyu Sharma joins us now with the latest. Abhimanyu, what are you picking up?
Sources have indicated that the government is not looking to set standards for battery sizes and is looking to implement safety and performance standards for vehicles in a phased manner. As the battery swapping industry is at a very nascent stage, the government does not want to hurt innovation by setting standards for battery sizes. The standards for safety and performance will be voluntary to begin with and will get mandated only after BIS publishes ARAI's rules in this regard. They will be first mandated for 2- and 3-wheelers, which usually witness the maximum number of battery swapping. The government is also exploring the possibility of extending these standards to long-distance trucks.
Abhimanyu, many thanks for joining us. Moving on, also on what's brewing, Toddle, a teaching and learning platform, has raised $17 million in Series A funding led by Sequoia Capital India. The round also saw participation from Tenacity Ventures and Trifecta Capital, along with existing investors, Matrix Partners, BNext and Better Capital. Currently catering to the K-12 segment, Toddle is used by over 40,000 educators from over 1,500 schools in 100-plus countries and now has plans to launch a product for preschools. To talk to us about the road ahead, joining me now is its co-founder and CEO, Deepanshu Arora. Deepanshu, welcome to Startup Street. And before we talk about the fundraise, tell me what made you launch Toddle. I understand before launching, the founding team established a network of international preschools and worked with K-12 schools. So what pain points did you see and how is Toddle catering to those pain points?
Yeah, so firstly, thank you for having me here, Shruti. Toddle originally started as a passion project for us at our own preschools and K-12 school. The name Toddle comes from Toddler's Den. That's really the name of our preschools. And the challenge that we were facing in our schools was that to manage our own teaching and learning workflows, our teachers had to use 4 to 5 different platforms. It was a really clunky and broken experience. And some of us in the team, we came from an engineering background. We thought, let's solve for this. We started building Toddle, like I said, as a passion project. And then other schools started approaching us saying that, hey, the platform that you are building makes a lot of sense. Why don't you build it in a scalable way? And that's when we really decided to take a plunge and build this out.
Okay. So Deepanshu, the Toddle platform essentially does 2 things. It helps teaching teams improve collaboration for day-to-day work, and it allows educators around the world to share teaching and learning resources with each other. If you could elaborate on these offerings and tell us how seamless and effective they are.
Yeah, so Shruti, I think teaching is maybe the hardest job in the world. If
Yes.
you think about if you think about a teacher's day at work, a teacher does multiple things. So she's expected to design the curriculum, design assessments, share those assessments with students, collect back work, give them feedback, track their learning journeys, communicate with families. So it's a lot of things that teachers do on a day-to-day basis. What Toddle does is that it streamlines all of these workflows in a really cool way and allows teaching teams to collaborate meaningfully with each other. I often say that Toddle is to teaching what Figma is to design. So Toddle really allows teaching teams to work together. Another layer that we have added on the platform very recently is that we are allowing teachers from different parts of the world to share teaching and learning resources with each other. So what that means is, say you are a grade 3 teacher teaching math in the US, I am doing the same in India. You are teaching the topic of fractions, for example. You created a really cool lesson plan. You created a really cool resource. You can share that through Toddle, and teachers from around the world can also start using it. 97% teachers say that Toddle is actually 10x better than any other learning platform that they have ever used in their life. So we are really grateful to be receiving so much love from the teacher community. And as ex-educators ourselves, it makes us really proud that we are able to create this small impact in the education ecosystem.
Absolutely. Dipanshu, Toddle started with a focus on IB schools, and I believe currently over 20% of IB schools globally use Toddle, including the US, UK, Australia, China, and the UAE. You've also recently expanded your product offering to other international curricula such as Cambridge, British, and American, and there are plans to launch a product for preschools. If you could elaborate on all of these plans and what else is in the pipeline.
So there are about 50,000 private independent schools globally and about 100,000 preschools. Our goal is that all of these schools and preschools should eventually be using our platform. So right now, the focus is to build our platform in a way that any school, no matter what curriculum framework they are using, they can use our platform. And the focus is to just put our heads down and keep executing. That's what we are good as a team. And that's what we intend to continue doing going forward as well.
Okay. If you could talk to me about your partnerships, you have a school-led model. How many schools have you currently partnered with?
So around 1,500 schools from different parts of the world use Toddle. We have been global pretty much since day one.
Yeah.
So around 40% of our revenues comes from Americas, North and South America combined. About 30% comes from Europe, Middle East, and 30% comes from Asia Pacific.
Okay.
And within these 1,500 schools, about 40,000 teachers and 300,000 students use our platform on a day-to-day basis.
Okay. Let's talk about the current fundraise. If you could take me through your fund allocation plans, how do you plan to spend the $17 million raised?
So, 3 focus areas for us: product, growth, and customer support. On the product front, I think we have just barely started scratching the surface on the problem that we are trying to solve for. Like I said, I think teachers are doing the most important work in the world. They are literally shaping our future generations, and our product has just started to solve for a few of their pain points.
Sure.
There is a lot that we can do in terms of going deeper into solving for their use cases. Second is growth. We are in 1,500 schools right now. The goal is to get to about 10,000 in the next 3 to 4 years. That is where these funds will be useful. And in terms of customer support, we are known within the school space as a company that really provides very high quality customer support, but I think there's a lot of scope for improvement there.
Okay.
That's the third area that we will be investing in.
All right. Can you take me through your current business growth numbers and what targets you've set for yourself as you cater to a massive opportunity? The school software market is projected to reach $30 billion by 2030.
Yeah, so we have been growing more than 2x year over year. So more than 100% growth for the last 2 to 3 years consistently. And this is not just vanity growth in terms of number of users, but it's actual real revenue that has been growing. And for us, 1,500 schools is where we are at right now. And over the next 3 to 4 years, we want to get to about 10,000 schools. So that's really the North Star metric for us as we grow Toddle further.
All right, Dipanshu, and we wish you the very best. Many thanks today for joining us on Startup Street.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shruti. Thank you.
Moving on. All right, moving on. SaaS platform Active.ai has raised a total of $12 million as part of its pre-Series A funding round from One Digi Ventures, Singapore, and the family office of Raghunath Subramanian. Now, this fundraise includes an earlier tranche of $5 million from One Digi Ventures in 2022, and this will fuel global expansion, product enhancement, portfolio growth, and talent acquisition. Joining us now to discuss the company's plans and the road ahead is Raghunath Subramanian, the founder and global CEO of Active.ai. Also joining me is my colleague Arundhati. Welcome to Startup Street, Raghu. You are an enterprise SaaS company with embedded B2B, buy now, pay later, and insurance products. Take us through your offerings and how are you making operations more efficient for your clients using AI?
Thanks, Shruti, and thanks, Arundhati. Thanks for having me. It's a great day for all of us in Active.ai and the partners whom we work with. Talking about the offerings and how we make the business simpler, it's a product journey, right? So we have a product known as ActiveGo. We have a product known as Active Score, which also has something known as the Enterprise Health Report, and we have something known as Active Pay Later and Active Insurance. Classically, when an organization wants to grow, they have to make their existing business partners or their existing distributors buy more from them, correct? The other way for them to grow their business is they have to appoint newer distributors who can buy from them. So what we are doing in ActiveGo is we are making the process extremely seamless. The industry standard to onboard a new distributor is anywhere between 30 to 90 days. Sometime it can even go to 120 days. What we have done is we have crunched the timeline to make it as instant as possible. And in cases where you need to do the business partner or distributor due diligence, it is around 24 to 48 hours. And this is a golden class or a platinum standard in the industry. Once this is done, what we also do is the existing distributors, the manufacturing company, like FMCG company, who could be a biscuit manufacturer like Britannia, it could be a company like Adani Wilmar. What we are doing to the existing distributor ecosystem is when they want to procure more from the business, we are coming up with the offering known as buy later, which is known as BNPL, right? So this helps them to increase the procurement in a non-collateralized manner and helps the organization to grow more. So these were usually not available as a platform offering. Things were there in a tiny tot or bits and pieces, right? So we have been able to put a platform that is making the entire process seamless and extremely efficient.
Right, Raghu. So you're making the process seamless and extremely efficient. Hi, Arundhati here. You plan to use the funds to grow your portfolio, among other things. So talk to us about what's on top of the agenda. How will you allocate your funds?
Thanks, Arundhati. Today, when we posted in LinkedIn, one of my friend commented the 3 areas where we are focusing is customer, capital, and colleague. That's a focus area. So customer acquisition is going to be key. So we will be ensuring that we are allocating funds for customer acquisition. To be a best-in-the-class company, you have to ensure that the platform is the brightest star in the company, right? So we'll be investing in the platform growth and platform development. Newer geographies is something that we consistently focus on, and top tier talent is something we are going to focus on.
Right.
So the emerging geographies are something which we are heavily investing on, which I speak about a bit later. So these are the 3 areas where we are planning to allocate the funds.
Right. So customer acquisition is on top of your agenda at this point, amongst all of the other things as well. But Raghu, what are the new offerings in the pipeline? You spoke about the offerings that you already have, but what's in the pipeline? And in your product suite, what are the products you're seeing the most amount of traction for, and where will your focus remain?
Yes, thanks, Arundhati. I just spoke about Active Insurance. As early as today is when we got the approval from the regulatory authorities to do the business line for the category that we operate in. So Active Insurance is one of the newest product offering which we are co-creating with some of the top insurance companies in India. It specifically focuses on the transaction insurance, which does not exist in the emerging geography. So that is extremely a new product. We are working on a product known as Active Invest, which will be a game changer for in the industry. These are the new offerings which we see to come in the foreseeable future. Also, the fastest moving product that we see is ActiveGo, which has a larger uptake from almost all the 20+ enterprise customers we work with and the large pipeline that we have. Active Pay Later is an outcome of Active Score. For Active Score, we have something known as Enterprise Health Report. Currently, we are focusing on the financial health of the business partner of enterprise. This has a huge demand in the industry.
Okay.
Usually, underwriting of the ecosystem of business partner does not happen at the enterprise level. It's a trust-based ecosystem. We help the enterprises to focus on revenue protection using this offering.
Sure.
And the newer offering, what we are going to bring in the business health is something that does not exist in the industry globally, which will be the digital health,
Okay.
the insurance health, and the ESG health. We have put a framework and we almost have a platform, and we should be launching that very soon in next 3 to 6 months.
Okay. Raghu, one final question quickly, if you could answer that. You know, Active.ai grew considerably in FY23, and in December alone, you saw the total BNPL throughput across $100 million. Where did the growth come from? And most importantly, what are your revenues looking like currently?
Yeah, thanks, Shruti. We did see the overall throughput of BNPL cross 1,000 crores. Indeed, we are building a strong non-linear business model in place, right? We have proven track record of product development, business growth, and attracting top talent. When we go and put a partnership in place, the first thing that happens is a partnership with enterprise. So the first revenue that we get is the revenue that we get from enterprise for the usage of platform. The next revenue is the additional products that we have, which is ActiveGo and Active Score, which the enterprise can subscribe to additionally. The embedded offering consists of embedded finance and embedded insurance. So this is something where the business partner ecosystem avail the services and transact, and we get transactional revenue for using embedded offerings. So we find revenue to come from equally from all of these areas as we grow.
All right, Raghu. On that note, we're completely out of time, but thank you so much for joining us on the show, and we wish you all the best going forward.
Thanks, Arundhati. Thanks, Shruti. Thank you.
Yeah. It's time for us to head into a short break, but don't go anywhere. When we return, we catch up with BankSathi's founder and CEO, Jitendra Dhaka, to find out how the Bangalore-based fintech startup plans to use the $4 million it raised recently. Stay tuned for that.
Welcome back. You're watching Startup Street. Now, Bangalore-based fintech startup BankSathi has raised $4 million in funding from Kotak Securities, Let's Venture, We Founder Circle, Inflection Point Ventures, and others. It also received funding from Mama Earth's Varun Alag, Kretz Kunal Shah, Abacus's Sunil Singhania, among other angel investors. Now, the social commerce fintech platform specializes in providing last-mile users access to financial products and uses priority algorithms to recommend these products to advisors based on the profile and past transactions of customers. Joining me now to tell us more about the company and its future plans is Jitendra Dhaka, the founder and CEO of BankSathi. Jitendra, welcome to Startup Street and thank you for joining us here. If you could briefly start by telling us what BankSathi's story is, its business model, and how are you helping last-mile customers who are not in the formal financial fold?
So thank you. So basically, we build the BankSathi to empower the consumer's financial life by providing like right financial products. So basically, I've seen a lot of gap in the tier 2 and lower cities. So people don't know much about the financial product. They are not educated in awareness. So we build the BankSathi in the middle layer in between the financial product, financial institutes and the customer. So through our algorithms, our financial advisors are educating the customers and they are providing the right financial product access through our algorithms to check the right financial products.
So, how many customers are currently using your application through the financial advisors, and how many more advisors and customers do you plan to add this year and in the next couple of years?
Yes. So basically, there are three stakeholders. One is the financial institute. So currently, we are working with more than 60 plus financial institutes, and we have more than 100 plus financial products on the platform. And customer and our financial advisors, more than 1 million advisors are working with us, and they earn more than 60 crore as on date. And we empowered around 30 lakh customers till date. And we are in plan to empower around 10 million, 1 crore advisors and around 5 crore customers in next 2 to 3 years.
But your app is still only available in 5 vernacular languages, and for a country like India, that's hardly anything. So has that been a hindrance for growth, and are you looking at expanding the number of languages that you offer through your app?
Yes, currently we have application in Hindi, English, Kannada, Telugu and Marathi language. So we are adding in 3 more languages in this quarter.
Okay, 3 more languages will be added in this quarter. Jitendra, if you could also talk to us about the $4 million pre-Series A funding that you raised from various investors, including some of the marquee ones, the angel investors. What was the idea behind this? How do you plan to deploy it? And how long are these $4 million worth of funds going to last you before you have to go back into the market?
Yeah, so basically we have the plan to invest this 4 million in the product marketing, technology and the team building around all the functions of the insurance product we are also launching. So recently we got the IRDA license to sell the insurance. So we are building the product around insurance also, and this customer acquisition and empowering our advisors and to provide the training around the financial products is our basic mission to use this 4 million USD.
So you spoke about insurance, and I know you recently got that license from the Insurance Regulator of India. Tell us, what are your plans on that front? So far you had not been offering insurance, and now you plan to do so?
No, till date we are offering credit card, bank accounts, demat accounts categories and loan also. So, but we are starting now the insurance products. So our mission is to provide the budget premium insurance to the tier 2 and lower cities, so they can afford and then can get the benefit of the right insurance product also. So just we are starting and we are going live with the insurance from the next month of this quarter.
And lastly, Jitendra, what about your partners? You have most of the large banks from HDFC to State Bank of India, Kotak and others already as your partners. Are you planning to onboard more?
Yes. So we have 60 plus partners as on date. So we are onboarding more partners like American Express, Citibank, Standard Chartered Bank for the credit card categories, and in multiple categories like bank accounts. So we are onboarding multiple regional banks also. So we can empower to our on every pin code across the country to our customers. So this is our mission, to provide the right financial products on each and every pin code across the country.
All right, Jiten, thank you very much for your time here and for speaking with us. On that note, we're going to wrap up this edition of Startup Street, but stay with us. More news and updates will continue on the other side of this break. Thank you.